Let the enchantment spree begin. Thorns, not too bad. Projectile protection. Power 4, very nice. Alright, moon boots are pretty broken, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix those up. Need to do the same for the flak jacket. And finally, not there, my hot pants. So now I am all healed up, ready to go. Time to start getting on the picks. I had a bunch of them sitting up in my chest, and now I can finally repair them. Unfortunately, this one's a little bit too much. I don't know, I probably should name it first, to be honest. Because it has Silk Touch. 31 levels. Dang. That was so hard. Alright, let's rename it. Cool. Now... Okay, I can repair it. I can only do it with diamonds, though, which kind of sucks. Alright, the first diamond. Now, hopefully, since I've named it, it shouldn't be any more expensive. So it'll be 32 levels, but whatever. Alright. Number 2. Almost there. And the last one. I'm not going to do any more than that, but that's pretty close. So now I will start on... Why do I want this one? Oh, efficiency 5. That's why. I was going to use this one as just a mining pick. Okay. And to start in on this one, unfortunately I have the same problem with this. I can't just use a normal pickaxe to repair it, but it doesn't really matter because I'm only going to put 3 diamonds in it, so it's pretty much the same cost. Just a lot more levels, but those only take me less than 2 minutes to get, so I'll be right back. Oh no. Well, welcome to Minecraft 1.7.2. This was accidental. I was messing around with my profile and I had specifically had it set to stay on 1.6.4. I didn't want to go into any of the snapshots. I didn't want it to automatically update. But I was messing around with that just out of curiosity in a test world, just playing around. And I forgot to change it back. And so here we are. And it's snowing. So far, this update, they're titling it the update that changed the world, and so far it's, to me, the update that broke the world. I hate the snow. I absolutely hate it. I don't even like being able to see it. Like, that was originally a taiga biome, and I didn't even like being able to see that. I just don't like the snow in Minecraft. It gets everywhere, covers everything. It's annoying. So this update has pretty much ruined Extreme Hills biomes for me. I mean, look, my pond is freezing over. I'm sure my farm, oh no, I already took care of my farm real quick. Because I harvested my potatoes. But my farm was freezing over. I have a glowstone there and a torch on the side of the pumpkin here. Yeah, this is not what I enjoy. Apparently the code says that it's like what, Y90-ish, somewhere around there. If you're at or above Y90-ish, which we are currently above, it snows, depending on the biome and the temperature, because biomes now have a temperature value to them. And oh, I forgot to close this hole up. That would suck. It goes down to the slime farm. So basically it means that if you get way up into the nice pretty extreme hills, it's going to snow. Whenever it rains, you get snow. At least in some parts. Apparently this is not cold enough, but whatever. So yeah, this update has pretty much ruined the extreme hills biomes for me, which sucks because they are without a doubt my favorite biome. I really think that the code should be, because there's the new Extreme Hills M and Extreme Hills M Plus, I think is what they are. I really think those should get the snow, or above like Y120 should get the snow. I think 90 is too low, because honestly, sea level in Minecraft is 64. So you go 30 blocks up, and you are now suddenly getting snowed on. I think the goal is for realism, but there are plenty of deserts that, or not deserts, but plenty of big hills and mountains that don't get snow. And they're a heck of a lot higher than 30 meters up. So this is definitely not a good change in my opinion. This update is going to get changed. There are lots of bugs in it still. Minecarts are like a death sentence right now, because they teleport you like 6 blocks away from the actual minecart. But this actual phenomenon with the snow and whatnot has been reported on the bug tracker. Like, people are like, hey, this isn't right, this is a bug. And it was closed out as working as intended. So they're sticking by their guns, it seems, on this, which is unfortunate, which means I'm probably going to end up moving. Maybe not in this episode, but soon, because I hate this a lot. A lot. I may move within sight of this, just, off there, down the hill somewhere, just go build somewhere else, just to get out of the stupid snow. Anyways, that's enough complaining from me. So, what you saw at the beginning of the episode was the enchantment spree. Well, the enchantment spree lasted all of like 10 minutes because I brought my books. I was like, all right, I'm going to enchant my books. And I only had 8 to start with. I was like, okay, that's no big deal. I'll just enchant my books. In fact, we'll head there as I talk. And you know what? I bet I'm on peaceful. Yep, sorry about that. I was in a creative world and didn't want the mobs to spawn and was too lazy to change the game rule. But, and please don't land on that creeper. Run away. So I was enchanting. I can get this out of the way too. And I was like, all right, I'm going to enchant like all the books, and I'm going to get all sorts of cool stuff. Well, I had 8 books to start. I was like, well, I'll start with this. Not a problem. Well, 8 books were gone. I was like, okay, well, I have my cow farm. So that means I have plenty of leather, and I have plenty of reeds, so I can make all sorts of books. No, I didn't have plenty of leather. I had like 5 leather. So I ended up getting like 13 books or something like that. That's it. Now, you also saw I repaired all of my tools and whatnot, and I've been using those a lot because I have a new project planned, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, so, and I'm leading into that, so let me just finish my story. Be patient. And so I realized that I don't have enough leather, and that cow farm, that cow, I took out the ladder because I was going to build a staircase, and I just never got around to the staircase. I want it to go out that way, but I've just not gotten around to it. So that cow farm is not producing enough. It takes too long to build up stock. And once I do get a good harvest, I do get enough leather, which is great. I'm not riding this thing because it's dangerous. In fact, I should just break it. But it takes too much tending to actually get enough from. And so I want to build a new cow farm. And Izuma, X-I, and he just pronounces the I, Izuma. He has a design. I just noticed my sound's off. Oh, whatever. He has a design that you can just stay there and hold right click, and you breed cows, like hundreds and hundreds of cows. This is all the books I got, and I think one over here that I managed to build up. Yeah. And so I need to do the cow farm, but I don't have enough wheat. It's been a problem for a while. Where am I going? I was going to stay down here for a second. I'm kind of scatterbrained. I don't have enough wheat, and that's been a problem for a while now, not having enough wheat to feed my cows. And so the project for today is I'm going to start building a very large wheat farm that I hope maybe I'll tie into my new house. I've kind of planned out a little bit, but I'm having a really hard time planning out the house. But I think that is what we are going to do for today, is build ourselves a new, or I'm going to build myself, and you can watch, a new big wheat farm that will give me all the wheat I could ever need for feeding lots and lots of cows, to get lots and lots of leather so I can get lots and lots of books. That's pretty much the end goal, is setting up the infrastructure so I can basically have unlimited books. So I will go and look at my creative world and figure out where I need to start and bring you in when we start to break ground. All right, so I have the boundary marked out here, and it's on, I want to level out on Y87. I have this torch, so from that corner over here, that's how long it'll be. And then over here to this torch is how wide it will be. So I need to get back up on Y87, which I will check. I'll actually just go over here and do that. I'd done a little bit and realized I forgot to hit the record button like a true professional. So I will start here. So I want to talk a little bit about this Minecraft update. It's been a little bit since I loaded in, and yes, there we go. It's been a little bit since I loaded the world up and saw that, you know, I'd been snowed on, and it made me, you know, think about Minecraft a little bit. And a lot of this happens a lot, this kind of thing, for good and for bad. When the health system changed, where you didn't just eat food and get health back, when we got the hunger bar, that stuff, and the, you know, enchanting, it changed the game. And I'm sure that, you know, while I loved all of that, I thought it was a neat addition and it made the game play a lot better. You know, a lot of people hated it. They didn't like the way it wasn't the same. And so I wanted to kind of clear a little bit of that I'm not being obstinate to change. It's not the fact that it's changing that bothers me. It's the fact that the change has gone and ruined something that I liked. I think this change, being the snow on the hills, is kind of ham-fisted in its implementation. And by that I mean it doesn't seem like too much thought was really put into how it was going to affect existing worlds. You know, I got really excited. If you go back to the very first episode, I got really excited to show off this really awesome mountain range that I could build in. And all the choices I made in what I was building was in the environment I was in. No snow. I mean, I'm going to get a lot of dirt from this. No snow, that kind of stuff. And now it's gone and changed something existing. So I think it's a little bit different of a change than, you know, we've had before. Like something, when they changed the way redstone worked, that was kind of necessary because it made things work better in the long run. But I remember DocM77, pretty much every redstone contraption in his world was just broken from that. So that was one of those things where it's like, okay, make sacrifices for progress. This is just putting snow on mountains. And it's not quite the same magnitude of a problem that I'm sure Doc M faced. You know, he had to bring in the Zip Crowd guys to completely overhaul all the machines in his world before he released a world download for everybody. But it's still frustrating that they've gone and changed something existing in a way that is not really, it doesn't gain anything other than snow. So, you know, I've resolved myself that if I find a mod that all it does is either removes the snow or makes the level at which it spawns higher, I will put it on. I will be mostly vanilla Minecraft. I don't want any other mods that do any other things. I just don't want snow on my mountain. Simple as that. So I'm going to go sleep before the baddies come out and get me. I love having ender pearls. Oh, don't put me on the roof. Oh, I'm on the roof. So, it's just unfortunate. Oh, dirt by the bed. There's also a texture issue in this version. This side of the bed is wrong. This side of the bed's okay. But I've actually broken and replaced this bed and the same thing happened. So, little problem. Zip on out. Yeah. I don't know. In my creative world, I'm trying to build a house very close to all this so that, you know, all this work I've done isn't for naught. I don't just want to up and pack up and leave. I have it down in this area, down here. So I'm going to try and work on that and make it look nice. I'm having a lot of problems with it, though. I just can't figure out how I want to lay it out yet. And once I do that, you know, I'm sure I'll be okay with everything once I can just get off the mountaintop. It's just kind of frustrating. I could see that being implemented in the amplified biomes where, you know, you're going up. Crap, what am I at? Okay. Oh, this torch. I did put a torch there. Was it 86 or? No, I guess it was 87. Okay. I could see it being implemented in the amplified biomes where, you know, your mountaintops are at 256. You know, that's as high as the Minecraft world can be. So that is understandable. That's, you know, it's as high as the world can be. It should be cold. But it's not. It's, you know, that much above sea level. That's not very far to go from desert to snow. Although I know that there are cold deserts. Desert just being a place that is low on water or rainfall. But, oh well. I'll stop complaining about it because complaining about it's not going to do anything. And I will instead focus on this build. So my previous large builds have, you know, the, what is it called? The Blaze Farm. That wasn't really large, but builds, I guess I could say. Blaze Farm, Tree Farm, Enderman Grinder. I've done them in the style of tell you what I'm gonna do, and then either through time lapse or like just cuts bring you in. And I've been watching my old episodes and found that there's a sense of journey, I guess is the word for it, missing, where I don't feel like I've really brought you along for the journey. I've just kind of showed you what I've done, and ta-da, that's it. Because a lot of the interesting parts of Minecraft come from the really basic things that you do, mining and, you know, filling a hole. You know, because I could get blown up by a creeper or whatnot. And that's fun, and it's funny, and it adds, you know, character and context to what you're doing. And so I thought I would try for this one you know, kind of bringing you along, filling in holes and stuff. I'm sure I'm not going to show you everything because, come on, how much do you honestly want to watch me fill in a hole? But, you know, gives you an idea of what I've been doing. I think I'm going to try that a little bit better. Although I am still pretty proud of the time lapse I made. I think that was pretty good. So, all right, well, I'm going to bring you along for the journey, but I'm going to cut right here and fill in this hole and bring you back in when I'm through. And so now you can really see what I'm going for. In the corner back there in the bushes. Where's that zombie? I had a couple baby zombies come after me. Yeah, this is the area for the greenhouse. The wheat farm, basically. So to start, I need to make myself some stairs. Because the way I have this made, where'd those go? There they are. The outside is lined with stairs. I'm also going to need to, at some point, probably between episodes, gather some more clay. I have about 3 stacks of clay blocks, but that's not quite enough. Because I have this thing trimmed right now in red clay, which kind of, to me, looks a little bit like a barn. Like it's that same kind of red color that and I like that, so I did that on purpose. It wasn't just a happy accident. I should probably bring my crafting bench with me. So this is going to be a pretty big project. It's going to take me a while to do, but I want to do it in episodes. I'm going to pretty much build the entire thing on camera, other than the really, really repetitive stuff. Just to, you know, change the pace. Variety is the spice of life and whatnot. That wasn't exactly right. Oh, good. Had enough to get back up. And I fall right back down again. Okay. Let's try not to fall off again. Oh, jeez. I might as well just like build myself a staircase up. This is a efficiency 4 shovel. Not even the fastest. Okay. Now I don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay. And down this way. The method I'm using for the farm is water, like a water trough system, or like a water flood system. I have a bunch of dispensers that are filled with water buckets along the back, and they flush all the wheat down to the front where there's ice troughs that carry it to a little sorting system and rack of chests so that I have plenty of storage room and can store all the kinds of, you know, seeds and wheat that I would get. This is only for seed. This is only for wheat. It's not something that I can configure later for potatoes or anything. I mean, I guess I could, but I won't. This is pretty much just going to be a wheat greenhouse. Because I want to enchant lots and lots of books, and so I need lots and lots of leather. Almost there. So I've been caving off camera. Well, not really caving, but just strip mining. Because I was after the Enderman farm, I was absolutely out of cobble. I didn't have any left. None at all. So I'm going to put a bit of a placeholder in here. There we go. Nope, wrong way. There. Placing stairs upside down is a pain in the butt sometimes. Crap. So this is kind of what the wall's going to look like with red clay in the middle. And then I have a mostly glass roof, as this is, after all, a greenhouse. I like it. The one thing I really like about it is when you go inside of it, it has a really open feeling, which, I don't know, I really liked. How did I manage to do that? Okay. Might as well just make a bunch of stairs. Oh, crap. They're not stacking. Or I'm sure they would if I did it right. That's what I've been doing, is putting them back. Okay, let's see how far that gets me. Probably not far enough, to be honest. Let's make some more. There. I've been very careful in its construction to make sure that it's spawn safe. I'm pretty sure it is. The only thing that I need to worry about is Endermen coming in and taking my dirt blocks, because it is more than 3 high. So I'm going to go around the rest of this and bring you back. Alright, so I have the outline done. This is basically how big it's going to be, and pretty much in the spaces are going to be red clay, and right about in the middle I have a walkway running this way, so kind of back and forth, and all the fields flood into troughs that run like this. So, but I think that's just about it for this episode. It's been a little bit of a talky one, as I kind of expressed my displeasure with the new update. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it in the long run. There's lots of new things to explore, lots of new biomes, cool stuff, so I'm sure it'll be fun in the end. I'm just a little bit frustrated with this, but I guess we can just move past that. Anyways, if you like this episode, feel free to give it a like, helps a lot, and if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. I've been BombFish, and I will see you in the next one.